So last time I reached at least 8 billion population. I got to 11.6 with the Ottoman. This run I am going for the 3000 extra great people. And I'm doing this as the English so that I also get great people from the Tower Bridge during the run, and I have the British Museum, which I really like, for the worker buff early on and then the rover buff later on. As per usual, I'm slowly exploring the map with worker buildings, first huts, then houses, then apartments, and then around condos I have the map explored and I can start building my worker buildings in neat little squares again. I've been away for about a day and I built a bunch of research labs, clone labs. I used those to get to future. I overshot a bit with the science, so I got a little bit more than I needed. And I then transitioned into the late game buildings again so that I could start upgrading the Large Hadron Collider, Alderson Disk, Dyson Sphere and International Space Station. I made sure to delete some buildings that I didn't need once the production from Dyson Sphere went up. And I've built just a couple wonders here and there that I wanted to have. I also used a Cathedral of Brazil to boost rovers and all the products that go into it. And I will now build the rest of the wonders and continue building late game resources until I get to 3000 extra great people. I also want to build Hollywood a little bit overlapping with Cathedral of Brazil, since I have 2 culture buildings here. So that just seems efficient if I only need one of them. I also tried paying attention to the amount of resources I'm producing, so I tried to keep supercomputers, CivTalk and hedge funds close together down here. And I did the same for the CivOasis, Robocar, Bitcoins, etc. Now it's a bit wonky right now because I am upgrading buildings to 30, but I should have around the same amounts for most of them, where for instance nuclear submarines I have a little bit more because I was still lacking behind from earlier. Same goes for CivTalk. I was still lacking behind with CivTalks, and so I have a little bit more of those. It has been a while, and I've been building a lot of the endgame buildings. I did them in lines so I can easily count them. I also built the rover production chain around the Cathedral of Brazil. I saw that I was using 2 culture buildings within this chain, so I built Hollywood slightly overlapping with a bunch of culture buildings. I also built some of the other wonders, like the Gunpowder Wonder, Faith Wonder, next to it. And here I have my basic resources, one of each. And then here I have extra resources that I was using to upgrade buildings or to not have any deficit resources. See, I have my mining facilities a little bit bunched up. Some extra non-electricity using buildings with my gold buildings around the gold. And yeah, I'm just upgrading slowly, a little bunch at a time up. As you see, I have some 31s already, and I'm now upgrading some of the bitcoins to 40 because they go faster. So I'm slowly upgrading all the buildings to a higher level while I am gathering empire value. I'm now at 2 trillion empire value per second extra. I still have 800 great people to go. Oh yeah, and in the top right here I still had the atomium, so any one of each science building I just built around it, even though it doesn't really matter. It still feels nice. Yeah, I'll just continue slowly building extra buildings and waiting for the empire value to go up. I am now at a point where getting new extra great people is going a lot slower. However, the goal is starting to get in sight. Since I'm now at 2588 extra great people and I need 3000, it's getting closer. So to get over this last stretch of empire value creation, I want to use more rovers, since they give most empire value per second in total, since they make a lot of rovers, even more than Bitcoin, which is more empire value per Bitcoin, but it makes fewer per cycle. So what I want to do is I want to transition into more space centers that make planetary rovers. And I'm doing that in the bottom right here. Now I'm doing these to a high level since I didn't quite have the happiness before to support them yet, so I thought I'd just let them upgrade while I play. Now what I am scared of is that if I transition everything into rovers, I will fill up my rovers before getting to 3000 extra great people, and I won't be able to continue getting empire value since the buildings are full. So to prevent this, I want to keep upgrading Dyson Sphere, which means I also need some peace and CivGPT. And so my goal now is to slowly transition into having many planetary rovers, peace production buildings and CivGPT production buildings, and transitioning out of the rest. So every time one of these wonders finishes, I'm not going to upgrade them again. Instead, I'm going to make all those buildings sleep so I can use that happiness for upgrading the Dyson Sphere, which gives me a little bit more empire value. As you see, the International Space Station has stopped upgrading, so I made all of the space factories, aircraft carriers and nuclear submarines sleep except for one. And I'm now going to use that happiness to create more peace, since I'm currently in shortage of peace. And that way I'm slowly going to transition everything out of the other wonders and into the production buildings for the Dyson Sphere. Now while I'm doing this, I will sometimes let some of the buildings run for a bit, and then only once they are full make them sleep to get the happiness. I don't want to immediately delete all the buildings, since they still give some empire value. So yeah, that's going to be my last stretch, and I'm hoping to get to 3,000 extra great people within the next week. I'm now within the last 1,000 extra great people before I have the 3,000, and I'm at about 3,500 trillion empire value per second. So soon I'll be there. Once my game has started up, I am expecting to have reached 3,000 extra great people. This means I can rebirth for the achievement. I only need one achievement more then, and that is rebirthing with an age wisdom of 5 for all ages. Or at least 5 for all ages. I think this shouldn't be too difficult, since a few quick rebirths with about 1,000 extra great people can get me there. And then I don't have any achievements to go for anymore, but I could go for the effective great people level of 1,500 and 2,000. However, I think for the 2,000 I need about 100,000 to 150,000 total great people. And if I get about 1,000 a day when I play actively, I would need 150 days of active play. And I think that's a little bit too much for me. So what I'll probably do once I have all the achievements is that I'll try out the new game made by Fishpond. I'm not sure if I'll put this on YouTube, but yeah, I'll have a think about it. Getting really close now, but I still have a day worth of warp, so let's see if I get it. So I just got the achievement for 3,000 extra great people. Now the only achievement left to go for is the rebirth with an age wisdom of at least 5 for all ages. And in game you can see I only need one more.